Hello everybody and welcome to the NuWhoZone, and I can't believe a reminder that your video is your stream is starting on Facebook, blah blah blah. It's only coming in now, 6 minutes in, and it's only coming up now. But anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. Obviously most of our guests are from the UK that joined the panel, so I wanted to make sure that they were okay and comfortable with coming on, and we got to go ahead. So that's why we're here today. I haven't done the RTD member stream because I will be doing my top 10 childhood movies this week. So we'll be doing that instead. And then next week, then RTD we'll do 2 episodes for the members stream. But just a quick announcement before we start everything else tonight. Gobby Guy, as you all know, we've had him on as a guest, and you've probably seen his channel about. Well, he has a surprise guest coming on his channel. Sophia Miles is going to be on Gobby Guy's channel, and I just want to congratulate him because it's something I'll never get to do on this channel because obviously, unfortunately, the bad reputation that we've gotten off the other side, I have asked people that are connected to the Doctor Who to come on, and it's been, I've been let down gently, let's just say. So when I see the likes of me friends like Gobby Guy getting this opportunity, it really warms me heart. Nobody deserves it better, to be quite honest with you, and I wish him the best of luck with his interview. I will be tuning in, of course, hopefully everybody else, because it'll be interesting to see what the topic of conversation will be. So go and check out Gobby Guy's channel if you haven't subscribed. And also this weekend, I have a guest coming on. The guest is going to be appearing on Comics channel as well. John the White has an update. So we will have him on the weekend, Saturday at 8 o'clock in the evening to 9:30. So he says he needs an hour and a half. So that's how long we're going on for. So 8 o'clock to 9:30 for that on Saturday night. So come and join us for that. John the White is giving an update on the hashtag Justice for Noel Clarke campaign. So tune in for that. And as I said, they will be on Comics channel first, and then I will be hosting them the weekend. And as I said, Gobby has that huge stream with Sophia Miles coming up as well. So plenty to come for you guys over the weekend from different channels as well. So I just thought I'd give him a mention there because it is a big deal. It is a big deal, and when something like this happens, I get a buzz out of it because it'll never happen to my channel. So I do be delighted when it happens to other people, especially if I know them. So huge congratulations, and I hope it goes very well. But we're here for Flatline. Lee won't be joining us this week because his mother is still visiting. So he won't be with us this week, but hopefully next week he will be back. Charlotte will be a little bit late because she's having her tea, because I've started early. We normally do these, we start these streams at 7, but because I haven't done the other one, I just decided we'd start now. So Charlotte will join us when she can, and as you know, Charlotte always watches the episodes anyway, so she'll be able to give her opinion. And I've just sent PD Rich a message there, so hopefully he can pop on as well. And he's busy with his stuff as well. He's got Blackadder coming up. They're doing a play, I think it is, and he's been busy with that. So everybody's been busy. Everybody's been away on holidays, and of course, then we got the news in the UK, and it's been a strange time for everybody, especially if you live in the UK. So streams are going to be a bit erratic over the next couple of days, weeks, until all of this settles down. And that's just the way it is. But we will be streaming tomorrow because Real Super Doctor has actually sent me screenshots from a Twitter account. Now, I've retweeted that Twitter account, and thanks be to God, they haven't actually blocked me, which is great, right? It's for the first time. It's the first time that I've retweeted someone and they haven't blocked me, right? So they haven't blocked me, so I feel comfortable enough to discuss it tomorrow. So we'll be talking the centenary tomorrow, Sacha Dhawan, and much, much more. There's been photographs that are in the Doctor Who magazine that have been obviously put online, and some interesting quotes as well. So we'll be deep diving into that tomorrow. So look out for that stream. And if you have an opinion about it, I will probably be bringing on a couple of people as well to give their thoughts and feelings on what they have heard. The title of the centenary has also been revealed, but we will talk about all of that tomorrow because we're going to focus solely now on Flatline and have a bit of fun, because I think with the week that's been in it, some people will just want to have a little bit of fun and take their mind off things that are happening around the world, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to get the episode ready. So I'll bring on me guest that I have waiting on the sidelines. And as I said, Charlotte and hopefully PD Rich, when he sees me message, he probably thinks I'm streaming at 7. So I'll see if I can get his attention. But he's probably setting up his computer and then he just pops in anyway. So yeah, don't. So I know, but John, it's not going to happen. I've come to accept that that's the case. Look, there's nothing that can be done. These people wanted to ruin my reputation, and in some aspects, it's worked. And that's just the way it is. Nothing I can do about it. There's no point whinging about it. That's why I'm delighted for Gobby. I actually guessed it last night, believe it or not. And I sent him a huge congratulations because it is huge. Especially huge for people on our side of the argument, to get someone on like Sophia. So well done to Gobby Guy. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, do, because he will be doing that interview and it'll be very fascinating. But let's bring on our panelist who is waiting patiently in the sidelines. It's the one and only Real Super Doctor, and we've got TARDIS in the chat as well. Hello from the Gulf Coast. Welcome to see you. You're very low, John.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. There seemed to be something wrong when I came on.
Right. Well, you're not that low. I mean, we can hear you enough to continue anyway. But yeah, Flatline fan, not a fan.
Yeah, it's quite a good episode. I've seen it when it was broadcast, and I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, and I thought it was really funny. And I also think it was one of Capaldi's best because it gave him the chance to kind of, the more speeches and all that, and it gave him the chance to kind of, to show the companion up, basically, because at that point Clara had been her ego had got to the better of her, and she wanted to be like the Doctor, and Well, in the end, it was the speech that says, "I'm the doctor," and it says something about he's against the monsters or something like that, and they all disappear in the end. And I like the idea of the TARDIS shrinking and shrinking in dimension, and
Yeah,
that. And in his hand, it was actually Capaldi's hand that was moving the kind of, it looked like a kind of character options TARDIS, and walking it through the tunnel. It was
yeah,
quite
that
good.
was funny. We've got Chris Persia in the chat as well. He says, "Evening all, hello, TARDIS Spider and real Super Doctor. Welcome, nice to see you, nice to see you." Right, well, I've got the episode ready, so when you guys in the chat have our episode ready, and when John has it ready as well, we'll just get straight into it. As I said, PD is on his way. Actually, he's just sent me a message, so he must be booting up his computer. So I'll tell you what, we'll just give it a few more seconds, and because he says he's on his way. So as I said, yeah, at the start, Chris has put Gobby Guy's channel in the chat. He's going to be doing an interview with Sophia Miles. So yeah, as I said, huge congratulations to him. I'm delighted for him. As I said, I know it's not going to happen here, but it's nice to see me friends being able to do it. And that's just the way it is. Look, I've accepted it. You know, it's been. I'm not going to lie. It's not nice when you know you ask and you know that there's not a willingness to come on because of people are afraid. That's what it is basically. Whether they believe the people or not, the fact of the matter is that if they come on here, there might be a backlash, because you see now even John Barrowman retweeting me caused a huge backlash from a certain Mr. You Know Who. You know what I mean? The same way when a magazine covered me rumors, that caused a huge backlash as well. So that's just the way it is, and I mean it's not going to change, unfortunately. So it's nice to see me friends when they get to do something like this. I can revel in the moment with them and congratulate them. So, as I said, Chris has put Gobby's channel in the chat. So look out for that Sophia Miles interview. And we've got PD Rich with us now.
Is everything working? I've just had an absolute crazy
Yeah,
afternoon
everything is
repairing
fine.
everything.
And Charlotte will be joining us after her tea,
Okay.
which I say she'll be probably here now in a few minutes, because I've actually spoke for about 18 minutes now. So like, yeah, so she should be here shortly. But we will start. But as I said, yeah, go and check out that channel, and yeah, we look forward to seeing that interview. So if everybody in the chat can let me know if they're ready for Flatline, please press 1. You know what to do. And hopefully, I think the panel is all ready. These are all ready.
Yeah.
Yes, he's have it all set up and all. Grand.
Ready? Yeah, ready. Sorry.
Right, we've got TARDIS Spider with a 1. We'll just wait and see if Chris is ready as well. So yeah, bit of a weird time, isn't it? Even in Ireland, it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
it's mad. The whole world, it's just
Yeah.
And then you get some despicable people, which we've seen online on Twitter.
Do you know I'm going to say something about that, Noel? I said if you want to see an empire, look out the window.
It's all look. I'm no royalist. I'm not. But there's a thing called,
Respect.
Respect.
Yeah, there's a time and place.
Yeah. And these people don't seem, even that fella that was shouting at Prince Andrew, right?
Yeah.
Were the cops right to drag him off the way they did? No. I still do believe that these people have a right to have their say.
True.
But this is the thing. Why didn't he just hold up a sign or something and stay silent? See, this is the thing. You can have your disagreements and your arguments against the royal family and all of that, but this is not the time to do it.
No, not time or
If
place.
Arton, you're actually, and in fairness, I said this on Twitter, and I'll say it here live. I think the Queen's death is actually going to have the opposite effect that these Republicans think it's going to have. I think it's united the country.
Yeah.
We've seen that actually live. It's united the country. You're seeing the Scots standing out waiting in the rain. Yeah, obviously there was a few, as Sky News mentioned, the Scots are very honest, and the Queen knew that.
Yeah.
But still, it was mostly respectful. I was seeing in the UK as well, mostly respectful. But these people online, I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful, the stuff that they're saying. I don't care if you're not a fan and you think they're racist and all of this, right? The fact of the matter is there's a time and a place, and this is not the time, and this is not the and social media is not the place to be doing it right now. Anyway, we've already seen those people being turned against, because I think it's been a bit of an
Oh no! See Jeff Bezos turning against one. Head of Twitter.
Yeah, well, it needs to stop. Sorry. But look,
you're right.
Sorry, I know what you're saying. If the head of Twitter's coming out and he's Amazon, even disgusted by Amazon, they're even disgusted by it.
Yeah.
Well, then,
yeah,
it is disgusting. Look, nobody's saying that. Look, everybody will have their beliefs on the royal family, right? And some will like the royal family, love the royal family, and some will dislike and hate the royal family. But the way people are going on is are holding this woman personally responsible for some of the things that happened decades before she was even queen, before she was even born.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. I can see that. Look, she made an effort here in Ireland, right? I'm from a generation. Look, I grew up during the peace process, and obviously, I grew up 1979, so the 80s, the Troubles were still very prominent in the north of Ireland. Every night I was watching the news with the man that, and there'd be some bombing or someone was dead, right? Loads of people be dead, right? I grew up with it, but I didn't grow up with it like the people in Northern Ireland did, so I don't know their suffering, right?
No.
But at the end of the day, when the peace process came along and all the sides of the community decided to come together and Ireland overwhelmingly voted for peace, it happened.
Yeah.
For the Queen then to come over then a few years back, wear emerald green and go and pay respect to our 1916 leaders who are fighting against the royals and the establishment.
Yeah.
Right? She paid respects. Then she went to a state dinner and she spoke a couple of words of Irish. And the fact that she even did that.
Yeah.
She knew what to do at the right time. That's the one thing I'll give her. But she made an effort here. Now, I'm from a generation that grew up with all of that and don't have any ill will towards the royal family. But I'm saying that there's a younger generation, just like in the UK, I've seen it with the younger generation. And some of the older generation in Ireland, yes, will be happy. I'm not going to lie. They will be. But the majority of Ireland has been very respectful. Right, you even look at James McLean last night, right? He's getting actually slated for no reason whatsoever, right? He wore a black armband, he bowed his head. This kid lived in Derry. This man lived in Derry during the Troubles as a Catholic, right? Now you know what if you know the history in Northern Ireland, as a Catholic living up there, or even a Protestant, it wasn't. If you walked into any of those communities, you are literally. There could be a chance you wouldn't be coming out alive. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Find you hanging from a lamppost.
But he stood there, right? Yeah, he didn't stand with his teammates. He stood a little bit apart. But he bowed his head and he wore a black armband. What more do you want him to do? Wrap our Union Jack over his bleeding shoulders and start singing God Save the Queen? That's never going to happen.
Never.
So he experienced something that even me in Dublin, even I in Dublin didn't experience. Discrimination because of his religion. And because of what side of the north he was born on, right?
Yeah.
These people are now, the young people haven't got a clue. And if you want to start back all this, and I will just say this actually, is are all so keen to divide Ireland and England again, or Ireland and the UK again, and bring up all of this anti-British, anti-UK sentiment, and I've seen it from the other side as well. I mean, he's so keen to start all this up again. But I'll just say this, you fuckers will be the ones that will be standing up and fighting in the front line. Yeah? Because we didn't ask for this, right? The country of Ireland voted for peace, right?
Yeah.
So you just want to fucking let go. Yeah? Now, I understand Republicans in Ireland are not going to let go, and they never will let go. And I understand that because they're Republicans, right? But the majority of the country aren't Republican in the sense, you know, they didn't fight the Brits and all of that. We've been able to move on from all of that.
Yeah.
And we've actually become very good neighbours. So I just don't get it. And Jedward as well, then the king better give the 6 counties back. Well, the fact that you're stupid and dumb because it's not up to him to hand back the 6 counties, you morons.
I thought they were Muppets.
Hedgehogs, I called them. And I actually tagged them. I actually tagged them on Twitter because I don't care. See, that's what I'm doing now. I notice a lot of people, even on our side of the argument, will take screenshots of people's tweets and throw them up, but not tag the people that they're actually bashing. I do, because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You're being called out for the vile, disgusting human being that you are. Now I tag Mr. You Know Who if I could, if I wasn't blocked by him. But I tag him every time. I don't give a crap. I'm done with all of these people. You want to all grow up. Yeah, there's a time and place for you. There's shitty little arguments, and now is not the time.
No.
All right, and now I'm going to leave it there because, you know, I've said me people.
Can I just say one little thing?
Yeah, come on.
The Queen did more to dismantle the empire than she did to rebuild it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as I said, she's being blamed for stuff that she wasn't even responsible for.
Yeah.
You know, and the things that she was responsible for, yes, historians will look over and look, her reign will be analysed, you know. But until then, shut the hell up and have respect. A 96-year-old woman passed away.
It's good she made it to 96, though. I'd love to see her make it to 100 and send herself a birthday card.
Yeah, well, look, she lived a long life.
Yeah,
she did her duty. You know, I have to respect that. Even she served the public for over 70 years. I mean, if that doesn't deserve, even from the British people, a little bit of fucking gratitude, I don't know what does. But the likes of that Mr. You Know Who, like, they're sad, pathetic. He'll never achieve anything that woman did. And that's the thing, you know, it's the same person that goes around, has no problem in calling everybody a white supremacist, and then he's going around with those awful tweets about unboxing at Buckingham Palace and all of this sort of. He is a vile. And if anybody is still following that YouTube and Twitter account, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, to be quite honest with you. Nobody should be bothering with him. And this is a fella that has done some freelance work apparently for You Know Who. I won't mention him because I don't want to get into trouble. Because, you know, that organisation.
He's Mr. Pro BBC as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So
and the BBC got a royal charter.
I wonder how they feel. You know, a man that apparently has done some work for them is going around bashing. It's very interesting to see how that's reacted.
Work experience now than work too, honestly.
Because it looks to me that the majority of the Doctor Who cast are royalists. So I mean, that must rub them up the wrong way. Yeah. Oh, someone told me that when I mentioned that, someone said, "Oh, you're going down a rabbit hole there," and I said, "No, the only rabbit hole the only rabbit hole anybody is going down is the rabbit hole you'll be going down by the time I finish with you on here. You'll be running down to that rabbit hole." She's a feminist. The Queen was our hero. Sorry to let you know, but Jodie Whittaker loved the Queen. So, like, for all you anti-royalists out there, yeah, that's going to upset you anyway. But you just won't say anything to Jodie, though, won't you? No. You'll be afraid to. Right, let's do this countdown anyway. And we don't have Lee with us because, as I said, his mum is still visiting. She leaves this week or something, or next week. He said he'll be here next week anyway. And we've got the ones in the chat now, so we're ready to go. So I'll tell you what, one of you guys can have the privilege of doing the countdown if you want.
Who's got the privilege?
So who would like to do the countdown?
Toss a coin, 50-50. Ask the audience.
I'll tell you what. We'll let you do a PD. Do you know why? Because you've got Jodie Whittaker hanging off a cliff getting kicked off. So, well, our doctor. So I think you win for that one. Even though I do like real super doctors, Peter Capaldi, Avatar, and he did have the Aldi one up just before he came on, which is funny. Now, if he had that one, he would have won. Oh, here she is. We haven't even started. See, I knew if I talked for a little bit, Charlotte would get here. So she's here. So Queen Charlotte is here. So all hail the Queen. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be really saying that now. But no, she is our Queen. The Queen of the TARDIS and Type 40 and Scottish Stavros. I can never get his name so long that I he's gonna kill me. Scottish Stavros wrestles with wrestles with Jesus. Do you know what? Queen Charlotte will tell me, and I've just embarrassed myself now.
Oh, we're used to it now. No, we're used to it. It's Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture.
That's the one. I nearly had it.
He did it on purpose, didn't he? He changed his name on purpose.
I nearly had it. But yeah, as I said, she's our queen, a queen of all those channels. So we welcome her. So we haven't even started yet. So now that you're here, I did say PD could do the countdown.
Yeah,
so I'm
fine.
not gonna. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna be bad and not let him do it.
No,
so
let PD do it if you said.
Yeah. So we let PD do it.
Do you want to let us old friend Gloombok do it?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah. So if you want to get the countdown going, so we're all ready to go, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, right.
Do the countdown. No, I have some more rumors from Mr. R-Edit. Do you want to hear them? Anyway, let's do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play.
And we're off.
There we go.
I did like this episode. I love the concept of this episode.
Yeah, and the creatures are quite a fascinating creature and what they can do and like how much power they have.
Yeah.
And it's I even quite like the setting that when they get into the train and the tunnel, it's quite a cool setting to have a story in as well.
What I loved about this was this though on the wall.
Yeah.
Very well put, very well done.
That's clever.
I tell you, Moffat does it. Sometimes Moffat delivers and doesn't get the credit that he deserves. I have to say, but he did.
I was going to say, did he write this one?
I don't know if he's wrote this. We'll see who actually wrote this one. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Come up in a second.
I couldn't remember. I watched it before and I didn't collect who the writer was.
I'd laugh if it's a writer that we don't like now.
Yes.
Gareth Roberts. We like him, actually. They don't. We do.
Let me see. It's by
Jane Madison.
Jamie is very good. His episodes are actually decent.
He did some of the better Capaldi ones, especially.
He did.
Take him for walkies, Laura.
I mean, it was so fake. You could tell how the doctor. See, that's the problem with the doctor. Sometimes he just doesn't read human behavior, right? You can clearly tell that she's lying through her teeth, but he's so oblivious to it.
And I don't know. Also, I was going to say, I don't know if a bit of it is with Capaldi. He's just happy she's here. He didn't want her to really go.
No, it's like as if he's grateful or something, and I don't like that.
You do get that vibe a bit in this episode with him. Like he's like quite a little bit overly happy with her because she's decided to stay.
I wanted to hear her go, damn it, Morty.
This entrance keeps on shrinking.
I do love the stuff that happens to TARDIS, though. I have to be
do
honest.
like that myself. I like this model that they constructed.
Actually, some of my favourite episodes are actually on the TARDIS. Do you remember the one with House and the Doctor's wife?
Yeah.
I mean, that's there. I love when they actually do ones where they're trapped on the TARDIS. I like those sort of episodes.
Cool. Yeah, and Journey was good. I forgot how good that was until we rewatched that recently. Yeah. Journey to the centre of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just funny, man. I say he had a laugh with that prop.
I've always when I start cleaning the roof, go, there we go, I don't have to do it later.
When I first saw it, it actually reminded me of the scene of the TARDIS shrinking in Legopolis.
Yeah. That's not someone we know actually got one of those shrunken TARDISes.
Yeah.
I love how he's excited and she's just like, well, it's not impressive. Well, it is, yeah.
Well,
go home, get the train. You're at a train station. Feck off, Clara.
Yeah.
I love the line though when he's like, "Oh, just I don't know what this is. Let me be happy." He says something to that effect, and it's just like, of course, the Doctor would just be like a kid. Something's doing something he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
That's at one of those heritage railways sites.
Yeah.
They filmed all this.
It's interesting why it shrunk the entrance and didn't affect the occupants inside, but it shrunk the exterior.
Well, I would guess
Planet of the Giants.
Yeah, maybe the TARDIS has got like an inbuilt something that it will always protect life in that regard. Yeah. I've always had that as my little head.
That was he did it to the meddling monk, didn't he? The internals shrunk, but the externals were still the same size. This is the opposite.
Yeah.
This whole thing with Riggsy and your man, right, kind of always annoyed me a little bit.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying it's racist or anything, but it could be. I don't know if your man he was being racist towards Riggsy, or was it the fact that he just didn't like
if
what
anything,
you call them? What you call them people that use spray cans? The artists.
Graffiti artists.
Graffiti artists, or maybe he just didn't like a graffiti artist. But I don't know. I found it very harsh towards him.
Yeah. We all remember this underpass. It's been seen so many times in Doctor Who.
Yeah, it didn't. Jack and Martha and Yoke walk down this. Yeah,
that's the one.
I was going to say no, though. I don't know if it's more a class issue, because he makes a comment near the end about they just council something, doesn't he?
Oh, he's a authoritarian council worker, isn't he?
Right, I get you.
So I don't know if he's just more of like he sees a certain type of person who might live a certain way when it comes to council money. Maybe that's what I'm
Classist,
just yeah, that's what I think. It's a bit more of that, I would argue.
Yeah.
He says something quite horrible about all the people who died when the episode is ending. So
I like Riggsy though.
Oh yeah, he's a good actor. He's a good younger actor.
I like him in the Raven one a bit better.
I do like that, but this is the thing. I like those stories, man. And but it was just, you killed Clara off in the most perfect way in that episode. And you could see the devastation on the Doctor's face. And I was just like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. If you want to do a departure, that's how you do it, man. Like, the Doctor is just totally broken. And
and also, it was perfect for her, because, let's be fair, if anything was going to make Clara go, it would be her ego. It would be her self-importance.
Yeah.
So for that to be her undoing was so, like, beyond perfect, really, for Clara.
Then they follow up with Heaven Sent, where obviously the Doctor is grieving, right?
Yeah.
So from those two episodes point of view, you're getting to see the consequence of obviously him losing the companion the way he did, the way he reacted then when he was trapped in that maze castle thing and Heaven Sent, and then to oh man, I don't care what anybody says, right? People defend Hellbent. I don't know how they can. Everything about that episode is wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I can just remember being so disappointed as like, this is our first time in Gallifrey properly since the anniversary when it had been brought back, and this is what they used it for. I was just like, no, I wanted a proper Gallifrey story. Because obviously with Russell it wasn't there, it was gone, and then Moffat brought it back, and you were like, oh God, you were like, yes, we're gonna get a proper, like, I'd love to have an episode where we just would have walked in the city and would have just seen some of the architecture in modern tech.
We've never seen outside the dome, have we, really?
No, that's what I was like. I was like, oh, wouldn't that be good if we actually explore the city? If we actually explore the city with the tech we had at that point.
Yeah.
I was like, but no, we didn't get that.
Never. It's always a dome or the ruins.
We got a barn. It's like, thanks.
Or the Doctor's barn.
That wee TARDIS is quite hilarious. It's just like one of the character options toys.
Yeah, it was actually scratch built by what's his name? I think Roberto scratch built it.
Uh-huh.
I love it. Doctor's great this episode.
Oh, Capaldi's brilliant.
Oh, shut up, Clara.
Don't you dare.
Damn it, Morty, you're not me.
Because you can so see they were playing into the sort of the dry aspects of Peter's Doctor.
Yeah.
With the dialogue, when he's like having the commentary about what Clara's doing and stuff like that. It's like,
I seriously feel they should have taken Riggs as a companion at the end of this season.
But that was what's frustrating. Like last episode, we had is it Perkins? I got his name wrong.
Yeah, he would have been good.
Like he would have been good. Riggsy, I agree, he would have been good. Like it was like he was auditioning replacements, but never actually went through with it.
Yeah, same with Perkins.
See if he was the companion as well with Clara. I mean, it would bring down Clara a wee bit because I mean she's getting too high and above herself at this point.
Yeah, I by the end of this episode, I forgot how smug she was.
He's less of a pudding brain than Clara is.
I was just like, by the end, just go away, love. I was like, really?
This is a drawback of this episode. It's a Clara episode, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
But at least for a good chunk of it, she's doing something. She's concentrating on trying to keep people safe. So I'll give it that. It's near the end, like I said, once she's done it, she's just like a little smug dog trying to get praise, and it's just like,
yeah. She's like one of them people in the BBC studios. Yeah. Met a few of them. Yeah, I got nothing against Jenna though saying all this, so I think she's a great actor.
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah.
The more I see her in other stuff, the more I'm annoyed what Moffat did with Clara. I'm like, if you would have given her half the writing you gave Amy, for example, I think she could have been brilliant.
Yeah, then tries to walk it all back in The Magician's Apprentice with Missy.
Yeah. See, I think she would have been better if there was a kind of departure at the last Christmas, because I mean, it just was enough. You know, I mean, they should have had a new companion like to kind of sit one with.
In fairness, we should have got 2 years of Bill Potts.
We should have.
That's what we should have got. We should have got 2 seasons of Bill Potts. Clara should have left after the Raven episode. Don't care what anybody says. She should have actually left before that. But he dragged her on at this stage, and that was the perfect episode. But Moffat is Moffat, right? We've learned throughout his tenure of Doctor Who, even Jordan RTD's era when he did the Doctor dances and that. The Empty Child, the Doctor dances. Even then, at the end of the Doctor dances, he didn't kill anybody off. Moffat just doesn't like killing anybody off and keeping them dead. Even with River Song, even though she was technically dead, he kept bringing her back.
Yeah. See, the point with Moffat in that and Everybody Lives motto, I think it's the fact that he uses these characters over and over again because he can't really think up new characters, because what he wants to do is he wants to kind of use those old characters because his storytelling is completely complicated.
Yeah.
I've always seen Moffat as actually being too sentimental for his own good.
Yeah.
That he gets too attached. He gets too sort of, I've created this character, I can't let it go. And you need to have a point where you go, right, like with that's why I respect what Russell did with Martha. She had one series, and he was like, she hasn't got, I don't think she's got any more stories to tell, so I'll get a new, and it worked with Martha, because then he did bring her back when she was a bit more for Torchwood and the unit stuff, which worked.
Yeah. And it's the same with kind of Amy and Rory. He had to kind of finish them off in the end. But
he didn't want to. You could see it.
He didn't really want. He wanted to keep them on, and then when he brought back Amy for the time of the Doctor and the regeneration scene, it was like.
I'll fight you that one. That was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was
I'll fight
perfect.
for that. Because it was. I've always seen that scene as the Doctor imagining Amy because of the connection.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was like Raggedy Man, I was just like, I don't. That is sentimental. I like Moffat when he does that type of sentimental.
Yeah, I would say Moffat more of a sprinter than a long distance runner. That's my problem. Very good at two-parters, but he's not very good at writing whole seasons.
Unless he's got help. That's how I think Sherlock did so well, because he had Gatiss as his second hand for that show.
This is a childhood fear, isn't it? Carpets eating people.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I love the effect. I love it's so trippy, brilliant.
Yeah. And this was another thing about Moffat. He always did things to kind of spark the imagination, like what he did with the Weeping Angels and that, and all those kind of little touches and that. And he must have just been working with the writers to kind of incorporate that in their stories. So,
I think Moffat almost reminded me of a bit like a comedian, in the fact that certain comedians will use real life as their material. They'll use people they know as their sort of jokes. And I can't help but think Moffat, he was always sort of had an eye in his normal life. If he saw something, he'd go, oh, that'd be a story I'd do.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the statues and the cracks.
And that's what actually works, because it actually works with the Autons as well, because the Autons could be actually anything, but they're actually mannequin plastic dummies that come to life, and it's a good idea that that's using realism in that and combining it with fantasy and fiction. I mean, you've got a good plot element for a monster in that.
Yeah, and I honestly think something a bit close to home sticks more, because we were just talking about the empty child. Like all he had was a gas mask, and he used that to make a villain. And actually, they are quite freaky looking.
Yeah.
The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS with a $5 super chat says, I know this is bad form now, but Charlotte, when can I get you on my show?
The thing is, Christian, it's just time difference. I know there's a big one for you. And I work as well, so...
Yeah.
I don't know if we're friends on Facebook. I'll see if I can find you on Facebook. But it would just be purely time and when I'm free.
Yeah. You really are becoming the queen of the channel, aren't you? Ambassador.
I am.
Yeah. Becoming the ambassador to the fandom on this side of the pond.
Trust me. I know on Thursday everybody's going to have fun with the whole queen thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to be careful of it until Tuesday.
Well, at least I was it before, so I can't say I'm doing it at the moment. I've been queen for a while.
Yeah. Be King Daniel next.
No, he wouldn't want to be King Daniel.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Enigmatic Joker's streaming again.
Oh yes, he's back. He was back on Monday.
See, I think this is what is good about Capaldi, and we can see that in later episodes. That when he's on his own, he has conversations with himself, and he works things out. You know, he gives the performances, and he's a bit like William Hartnell in that way. The eyes, the expressions, and everything.
Yeah, he's thinking aloud.
Yeah.
But this is why I like this setup. That like he's like I said, he's commenting on Clara. He's been like that voice in her ear for this episode, and it works very well actually. Because like you said, he can be trying to work out what's going on, and he doesn't have any interruptions, so he can just sort of have that out loud thinking, whilst Clara does the actiony stuff and has the people there to protect, and he's like the thinking part, so it works.
And you can see it works well in Heaven Sent as well.
He's such a job's worth, that guy.
Yeah.
Also, it is quite interesting also with this episode, with that setup, you see really what Clara thinks the Doctor is. What Clara sort of sees what the Doctor does. And I forgot that when I was watching it again, and I think it's quite a bad impression she has of the Doctor. When she's almost saying he's just this utilitarian sort of, I'll lie to protect people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he does lie, and there's no denying that.
Yeah.
But I would say, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but for me, listening to her speak, it's like she completely doesn't understand the hero aspect of the Doctor.
That's it.
Yeah.
She just sees him as just point A to point B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Type of character, and he's not that.
Doctor's not her taxi driver. Yeah. Do you know what these creatures remind me of in the graffiti? You ever see the new AI art programs?
No.
You type parameters and it tries to make a picture of the parameters, and sometimes they look a bit wrong.
Oh yeah, and I love the look of them. They
look a bit like that.
Because they're not quite like a form you can understand, are they?
Yeah. No, they've got the kind of distortion about them.
Yeah, and that's why I do think when Moffat could do creepy creatures and creepy stuff in his era, they worked really well. Yeah. Whereas Russell could do the more naturalistic looking aliens. I would argue Moffat could do the more weird, out there, sort of creepy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to his world. So quick to criticize him all the time.
Well, I think the thing was she didn't understand the weight, did she? At all.
No.
And now she's actually got these lives that she's responsible for.
Yeah.
Now she understands it a bit.
Well, she will by the end, yeah. I think she does by the end.
Right?
And this did need to happen this episode. But she goes back to her old ways almost straight away then. And then it kind of defeats the purpose of this episode.
Yeah.
Well, even in this episode, though, there's still a major issue with the whole Danny thing.
Yeah. The fact that she's lying to him,
But no, it's like during that scene when she was escaping from the room. It's like he's just heard you on a phone call with screaming.
Yeah, and you're lying to him. Like, she's still lying to him.
Just say to him what you're actually doing, love.
Yeah.
He actually did say to her that originally, I don't mind if you travel with the doctor, just be careful.
Yeah.
She was the one that made a big deal. Oh no, I need to leave, I need to go. And then she changes her mind. Well, then you tell Danny. You say, Danny, look, I'm having second thoughts now. I don't feel I can stop traveling with the doctor right now.
Yeah, and like reassure him, like, I still love you, and it's not like I'm picking the doctor over you at all.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But all these female companions are selfish. Rose did the same as well. She didn't give two craps about Mickey Smith.
Yeah.
Right? She dropped him straight away at the very first opportunity she got.
Yeah.
It's once they see the doctor, once they see the TARDIS, they get ideas in their head. Oh, they could do absolutely anything because the TARDIS can take them absolutely anywhere, and they can solve every problem. And this is just Clara being, she's just trying to be this kind of clever person, and it just doesn't work. It's bringing her to the realism that the Doctor and these dangerous adventures and how he can. Because he's a Time Lord and because he's got this massive amount of intelligence and that to kind of decipher what's going on around him, and she just can't. She's just a human being.
Yeah.
And it's just her ego that's driving her.
It's like, didn't they learn from the long game what happens when companions screw up?
Yeah.
But I didn't. Bruno Langley's character in the long game.
Yeah, I don't know. I just recently watched that episode. He's just an annoying bleeding character altogether.
He was meant to be, though. He was written to be that.
I know he was. Yeah, that's the thing. I have to kind of frame in mind that that's exactly what RTD wanted from his character, to kind of show the difference between the two. One is look. In fairness, though, Rose did do that thing on Father's Day, so Rose isn't perfect either. But then after that, she kind of got it,
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it was. I do agree from that standpoint. His character was probably necessary, but I watched Bruno in Coronation Street, and he was a slime ball near the end.
Off screen as well as on screen,
right? And apparently, off screen, he's not a nice person. So I've never liked him personally as an actor. So yeah, apparently he is a bit of a slime ball. I don't know if it's true. Look, you get accused of being a slime ball nowadays. We already know I'm going to be doing a video on it tomorrow, but I will have a video up for you tonight because there's been a lot of screenshots from the Doctor Who magazine that have actually been released. So here's some of the highlights: Cyberlords, obviously Sacha Dhawan, some of the old companions feature, obviously Kate Stewart features as well, the Lone Cyberman features also, and quite interestingly enough, though, haven't seen any of the other companions.
Yeah.
And it's been because apparently this Doctor Who magazine is not out for another week. So whoever's got their hands on the magazine has literally leaked all the pictures that are available in that magazine.
I was going to say, I've seen the cover, though.
Yeah, everybody's seen the cover because obviously Doctor Who magazine released the cover. But they didn't release anything else. Someone else is at actually getting their hands on the magazine and is at the release and everything.
You know why, though? It's probably somebody who's like, God, somebody needs to start to advertise.
Like, that's what it is. And I agree. You know what? I would normally disagree with stuff like that, right? But I agree. If Chris Chibnall's not going to give the fucking fans something that have been loyal to this series, not the ones that have attacked people, but the ones that have genuinely been loyal to this show, if they don't want to, if he doesn't want to give them well, whoever leaked the fair fucking play to them because they've got something now to get excited about.
They're doing Chibs' job for him.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, I'm not a fan of this era, but I have condemned Chris Chibnall and BBC's handling of this centenary.
Oh,
it's been absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, give the fans, give the ones that were loyal to you at least something.
Yeah,
right. I don't give a crap about me. We'll wait until the episode. We're more than willing to wait until we see the episode. But to the ones that were loyal to you, no loyalty with the BBC. Remember that when long-term fans and other fans that had a problem with Whittaker's casting and the direction of the show, what did BBC do? They stood back and let fans be attacked and stuff for the last 5 years, right? Because someone tagged BBC in a certain Mr. You-know-who's tweets. And I said, BBC are not going to do anything. And the reason why BBC are not going to do anything is because they don't care. They've already shown what side of the fandom that they lay on. So whatever he says, he's going to get away with it. And it's disgusting, by the way. I'm not even a royalist. But that's disgusting. I've even had respect. Me. You know what I'm like. I've even had respect. Because it costs nothing to have that little bit of respect.
Exactly.
You know, you've got to acknowledge 70 years. I'm sorry, more than 70 years, right, of service to a country, right? None of you people will ever achieve that are bashing her, will never achieve what she has achieved in her life. And
here's the thing, though, and I can say from our country, they are very much in a tiny minority.
Yeah,
and they
I know
are showing themselves up because if you look at the feel in this country, it is
Christ, Laura puts
utter...
into siege mode.
Oh, I was going to say something. This siege, the design of it, it's eerily like the Pandorica, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
that was
like,
maybe
God,
Time Lord technology,
that
though, wasn't
looks
it?
incredibly like the Pandorica.
See, this is what I wanted Fairhore to be. Do you know that episode Fairhore with the drawings? That's what I wanted Fairhore to be. Yeah. And it was like Moffat kind of probably seen that in the RTD era and then you know, probably said, well, I can do better basically, and this is his version of it. But I think it's brilliant, man.
I love
this.
This
is a funny scene.
I do love this. It's brilliant how they do it.
Oh, Trains 2 CGI.
5 weeks to go. Yeah. We don't even know if it's 5 weeks to go. Listen, I think
haven't been given a date yet.
We haven't been given a date. They refuse to give a date. Jamie, it should be in about 5 weeks' time because that's when the 100-year anniversary is. But by the way, BBC and RTD, not RTD, Chris Chibnall have been very silent. Unless, I don't even think it's being revealed in the magazine because with all the stuff that's being leaked, the only thing that they spoke about is the title of the episode. Yeah,
so you'd think we'd get, if the date got leaked, we would have known.
That would be the first thing people would leak. Is the date and the time. Look, it should be on the the night of the 100-year anniversary. That's what we've always on BBC.
I don't think it is. I think they've put it in like not the graveyard slot, but a slot which isn't anywhere near as prestige.
Yeah.
Because we would have got a date by now if it would have been on like a prestige slot on that night.
We got a couple of people leaving the chat there. TARDIS Spider is going off for a nap.
Okay,
so enjoy a nap. And Jamie says 23rd. I'm heading, but might be fan art. Says Jamie Knight.
Oh, there has been some really good fan art posters.
There has
some really good ones.
There has, but the poster we do know of the actual poster because. Oh, you're saying that are you saying that poster is a fan art poster?
Yeah, with Jodie regenerating.
No, not that one.
Oh, I've seen that one, and that's.
Well, I have a poster. I don't know if it's a fan poster, but I'm going to stick it up anyway. And if it is a fan poster, if the fan comes forward and says that's my poster, I'll link them in the link description. No problem. But
I don't think we've had an official poster. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong, but I don't think we've had an official poster.
Well, it looks like an official BBC poster to me. It's got our logo and all on it.
Well, I'll have a look if you post it. I'll have a look in the video and see, because I've not seen any. I could be wrong.
Well, I'm going to be throwing them all up. I'm actually working on the video now as we're talking because I could do it on my phone. Isn't that great? The modern technology, you can actually make a video while you're talking. The joys of technology. It's a pity I'm so fucking stupid. I can't use it properly, but there you go.
No, and also, I in this episode, I love Peter's moment when he does come out the TARDIS when it's fully back to normal. I think that's one of the best Doctor sort of shove off. Yeah.
I love that music. Don't care what anybody says. Come back. He has to come back. RTD, if you're listening, there's only one man to make your era succeed. And that is the one and only Murray Gold. You have to bring him back. Fans want him back.
I think he's going to be for the 60th at least. No, but like I said, I love Peter's line when he comes out and says, "You are the monsters and I am the Doctor," and it's such a good Doctor moment.
Yeah.
Because like at this point, his Doctor has had some like heroic moments, but not a lot. So it's nice that he got one. Like a proper sort of, like I said, I love it when the Doctor just says, "Just shove off,"
Whoops.
like in a more flowery way than I just said it.
She comes off so patronising about the headband. Sonic Screwdriver.
See, people that ever since the Queen died, they've been setting off fireworks. I mean, these people, I can't understand it. Oh, ruined my bit.
Yeah, there's something else I haven't understood as well. This whole new phenomenon of clapping a hearse as it goes by and cheered, and I don't. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but I to me that's disrespectful. I don't know, but and I'm not saying that they're not doing it out of disrespect. Obviously, they're not, because you can clearly see they're not. But I do find that disrespectful. It was the same as for the minute silence during the Liverpool game. Liverpool fans singing, "You'll never walk alone" during the minute silence. The referee had to stop the minute silence because of them.
Oh,
like, where's the respect has gone out the window, man. That's the one thing about society that we can say. Nobody is respectful of anybody anymore.
No, very disrespectful society. Looks like The Office from whatchamacallit, Web of Fear.
It looks like the Churchill, the underground Churchill.
It does
base
actually.
In what was that again?
Picture of the Daleks.
Well, remember, they would have reused an awful lot of our old sets as well back in the day.
And if anything, I would argue Moffat was a bit better at hiding that than Russell.
Yeah.
With Russell, it was so obvious. It was like, "Oh, we're back at this house again."
Yeah.
Like the big house that he always used.
Yeah. Well, the old deserted house he was using, the Weekend Angels,
Yeah, he used that house a couple of times. I think he used it for the Bill Potts episode as well. Actually, the one where the landlord is the house is eating them all.
Proro, yeah. Proro, the house landlord.
Yeah, and
I love the fact that they still, even to this day, though, go out and look for old mansions. Can we use your mansion to film Doctor Who? Oh yeah, go ahead, Doctor Who, lovely, because they know it brings in the business, you know. But I love that. I love that they still go out and seek these real places to use. I love it, man. I can't wait for RTD to come back. Look, we've had a bit of a bumpy road, let's be honest, but everything's settled and quiet again, which is good news to me. And let's hope it stays like that now, please. Our fingers crossed RTD doesn't say anything else stupid now and set this fandom off, because what we need now from now until obviously the centenary is over, when the centenary is over from then on, then we just need things to go right now. And hopefully
it's not going to be calm, is it?
No.
Right.
No, we're in for a chaotic. After this 6 weeks, after this centenary does drop, whenever it does fucking drop,
2 months.
We're gonna be very busy.
We're going to be
at
least of just absolute fallout. It's my prediction.
We're going to be very, very busy. We're all going to be busy. There's going to be a lot to talk about, digest. Tell you.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I actually can't. I'm all excited.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to like our stream after the episode.
So hold on. Is someone telling me that poster with the regeneration energy that says BBC Doctor Who, the power of the Doctor, is actually a fan poster? Because if it is, I'm gonna remove it because I don't want to be.
Well,
what
no,
these
you might as
people
well
are
put
like.
it in, and then people will tell you afterwards. Because I've seen one. I don't know if the one you're talking about is a fan one. I have seen one of like her looking at her hands, and the regeneration energy is coming off them.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
I think that's a fan one. If this is, and does it have like Doctor Who and like the centenary logo, like the BBC
It says Doctor.
centenary?
It says BBC Doctor Who, the power of the Doctor next month. Yeah.
But I haven't seen it with Power of the Doctor on it, so maybe I've seen another version, which is a fan one. The one I saw didn't have the episode
I won't use
title.
it just in case because it is a nice fan poster. I have to actually say, whoever designed that BBC, there's someone you could get in to actually do decent fucking Jodie Whittaker. Well, she's gone now. It's too late, but
it could be. I don't know, but I know there was some fan ones knocking around.
No, I'm not putting it up. I don't want to take the risk. There's plenty there for you to say, trust me.
Check on the Doctor Who website, see if it's actually been released.
That's going to keep you interested.
Say, no,
wait till you see the state of the Cyberlords. I'm just going to tell you, they look disgusting.
Wow. Well, they looked bad before. Look on the
No, but he's done something with their legs now. Their legs and all have this mad design on them.
Oh.
Yeah, wait till you see them. They look awful. They actually look awful.
The first time.
Yeah, well, they were an abomination. They shouldn't even exist. I mean, you can't put dead Time Lords into a fucking... Or dead Gallifreyans, into fucking Cybermen. It makes no sense. They need loyal...
Yeah, but... in a few episodes' time, though.
Yeah, but no, that means he should not actually cares about canon, which we know he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we know. Yeah, you're right.
Moffat does it in a few episodes' time as well. There's dead people in the Cybermen.
That's the sad thing. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And then they expect us to care. And then criticize us for not caring. It's at least with Moffat. Moffat didn't always get it right. But he did care. And you could tell when he cared.
Yeah. This guy
you can see nowadays, like it's not gone from him. Like when he was doing the watch-alongs, and he was doing his little like tweets and all that, you could see the care's not gone. I just think he wouldn't. My theory is he just knows he couldn't have the energy nowadays to run the show again. Yeah. But I'll be very surprised if he doesn't write something for Shooty. Yeah. If like in that first series of Shooty we don't get either a one-off episode or a two-parter from Moffat, I'd be very surprised. Because him and Russell are so close. So I can't see Russell not being like, oh, do you want to just do an episode for me? And we've said like that's when Moffat thrives.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. The old man is a bit of a sort of one-note stereotype, isn't he now?
Yeah.
No, I just got that regeneration picture of Jodie Whittaker, that's all. Jamie's right. The chat.
Is this the one I've seen, possibly? Because I've seen it as a... Because I've seen one graphic which does say Doctor Who.
It's time to miss you.
Power of the Doctor, but there's no Jodie on it.
But you see that line that he said to her there, but there was no goodness in it. Like, and her face.
Oh dear.
See, she still doesn't understand or still doesn't get it. Sorry, Charlotte,
No.
but I just wanted to make that point because she still doesn't understand what he's trying to teach her there.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's you can see in her reaction. She's just like, oh, I did it then, right? Nobody died, and he's like, you still don't get it.
Oh dear, here's the terrible episode.
I did like this episode. A lot
It's
of
not
people hate
bad.
this episode.
Nah,
I actually
I
liked
didn't
this
like it.
episode. I thought it
What
was
is-
actually interesting.
What is the next one? I didn't watch
It's
the
the
next one,
forest of
Trevor.
the one with the girl in the forest in London.
Yeah.
It's the ending. The ending is so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Chibnall ending, really.
Yeah.
Well, we won't get into Chibnall until we need to, because I can't do it. Can't talk about him now. From what I'm at the scene with these photographs, yous are in for a surprise. Anyway, we'll forget about that because that'll be thrown up later. It's actually I'm actually putting the video together now, so it's uploading. It's uploading on my phone, and then I have to swap it onto YouTube. So it's by the time we're finished here, it should be done, and then I'll throw it up. So look out for that. But we'll get straight into this. Look, I'm gonna start off. This is one of my favorite Capaldi episodes, actually. And even though Clara can be annoying in it, you have to give her credit where credit is due. She actually does, save a few of them. Could she have saved them all? And that's the point, I think, of this. She's been going around with a bit of an arrogant attitude, thinking that she can be the doctor and stuff like that. And she's not quite understanding what the doctor and how hard it is to make the decisions that he makes. And again, that end line with her, why can't you admit I was a good doctor? I was very good at it. And he said goodness had nothing to do with it. And then her face and her reaction to that is like she can't comprehend. What does he mean by that? Well, you're still not getting the lesson, love. Being good at something that's not the point. That was never the point. That's the lesson he's trying to teach you. It's not about where you're good. You've got to make those hard decisions. She's still not getting it, and this is why I don't know what Moffat was doing with Clara, but he should have just bleeding killed her off and left her dead when he had the first opportunity to do it, which he did. Right, should have just finished her off there and then, and brought in. So even Legend of the Travelling TARDIS said it. Nardole and Bill Potts should have been Peter Capaldi's companions from the start of his era, and I actually agree with that. I think that would have been a nice way to end with those three. But other than that, and Clara's bits annoy me, it's still one of my favorite episodes because I love the concept of ever since I seen the scribble thing in Fear Horror, I've always wanted Doctor Who or someone in Doctor Who, a writer, to kind of do something similar to this, or to actually, do the origins of those scribbles or whatever, right? But we got this episode, and obviously we find out what it's all about, and it's fascinating. I like stuff like that. And it's very well put together. All the actors, I still don't get that old geezer and what he's all about and what the point of his character actually was, to be quite honest. Because even at the end, he's still going on about how he's scum and all of this. Like, he literally saved you, right? By spray painting, doing the thing that he did, and you're still not, you know what I mean? You're still not happy. Like, you're still slagging off Riggsy. And I just don't get that. So, as I said, even though there's a few little niggly bits, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 because it is an 8 out of 10 for me, personally. So there you go. That's where I am. So we'll go with the Queen next.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good, and I think we're on a very good run at the moment for this series. It's really creepy. It's spooky. It's a good mystery again. I think Moffat, Capaldi's Doctor works really well with mysteries when you actually have him to be a bit of a solver, having to work out a lot instead of running around and being the action hero. Capaldi's Doctor is the thinking Doctor, and it works very well. So this episode is purely that because he's stuck in the TARDIS. I like the fun of it. There's some really fun stuff with the mini TARDIS, like with the hand coming out, like they're playing. I like it when Doctor Who is playful, and this is a very playful concept in bits of it. I agree, Clara is very annoying near the end, but actually throughout the adventure, the arrogance is gone because she has to concentrate. She has to think about the people in her charge.
Care. Yeah.
She's not allowed to have any smart aleck comments, to have any snarkiness, because you can't. And I think this really does show, if we would have had a bit more of this in Clara, this sort of more calm, yeah, I need to get the job done attitude, she would have worked a lot better. And yeah, I think Rixie's a very fun sort of side character, very good actor. Yeah, and it's just, and it's creepy, and I like it when Moffat does proper creepy in his era. I think it works. So I'll give this an 8 as well. Actually, I think 8's a good one.
Yeah, thanks for that, Charlotte. Real Super Doctor.
I'll give this episode I would rate it an 8. I mean, there are elements in this that's not perfect, but it's probably one of the best. It's give Capaldi the chance to make his Doctor shine, and giving the Doctor to kind of think and act.
Yeah.
And even though he was inside the TARDIS all the time, but this episode just shows Clara's ego, but in the end, I mean, it's just like the Doctor saying, "Oh, you're an exceptional Doctor." It's like he knows that she's overstepped the line, and she shouldn't have done that. And it's like that, you know, she's got to kind of realize that. And even though when she's going on that. There's nobody that could replace the Doctor. I mean, the Doctor is the Doctor. He is a time traveler. He's an immense, intelligent, powerful being. Looks like a human being that's got vulnerabilities as well. But, you know, in the end, that nobody can be him. Nobody can replace him. And that Clara thinks that, that gave her ego a little bit of a boost. And that you know, that because that she sees the thing, the opportunity of being, you know, it gives her that huge ego boost that she's looking for, because when Matt Smith's Doctor, she never had that ego. I mean, she just the two seem to have get on, but since this changeover, it's like she's in charge and she's trying to dominate, and telling the Doctor what to do, and it's not in a nice kind of way. It's like a kind of nasty kind of way. You can see that in the episodes like Kill the Moon. I'll slap you so hard that you'll regenerate and all that sort of stuff. Jenna Coleman's a great actress. I mean, her performances is good. And maybe not the writing and the intention of the character, because characters went under so many changes. I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10, and basically for it's highly enjoyable.
It is actually, with all that said, that actually is a valid point. It does have flaws, obviously, and there's certain things with Clara's character we don't like, but overall the story itself is actually pretty solid. PD, what do you think? And if everybody in the chat as well, I forgot to say it to you, give us your rating in the chat as well, guys. Don't be shy. Go ahead, PD.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't like parts of it. It was a good episode generally. The writing was good, but Clara got out of hand at the end. The aliens looked like the AI thingy's art software that's going around, which kind of annoyed me. But I kind of was also ruined by Fear Her, because it was a bit of a repeat of Fear Her as well. But I also thought some of the CGI wasn't good. All the alien CGI was good. It was really good. But some of the train, you could tell that train was CG, and I didn't like the TARDIS effect on the outside. But I loved Nick's props for this one. Nick Robato did a brilliant job on props, making those different sized TARDISes. I think I'll give it about a 7. I did think the Doctor was really good in this episode.
Fantastic. Doesn't look like we have any ratings in the chat I don't know if anybody wants to give it a rating, but what I'll do is while I'm waiting on you our ratings there, I'll let everybody do their channel shout outs and get on with our evening. We can leave early tonight for a change. Because as I said, I'll be throwing those photographs up after this stream, a few minutes after, right? And then tomorrow, then, if everybody is available and you want to come into the chat, and then if you want to come on, discuss the photographs that I'm obviously going to be throwing up, because we're going to be talking, obviously, as it is, new information about the centenary and new photographs. It's worth discussing anyway. We did say if that come out, we discussed. We didn't think it'd be from a fan, but there you go. That's how pathetic the BBC have been throughout this whole thing. Got to do with the centenary.
7.5 from Christian.
Monsters was scary. Capaldi had his space god moment. Clara was getting too annoying. I agree. We all just want Clara to go away at this stage. The legend of the traveling TARDIS. But anyway, let's go and do those channel shout outs. Anyway, I came late to rate it. Well, you've probably have you never seen it before?
Though.
Have you never seen it before? I mean, if you've seen it before, you can give it a rating from the last time you've seen it. That's no problem. Chris gives it a 7.5 compared to everything else from the Moffat era. Yeah, that's a fair point as well. So while we're waiting on the rest of the ratings to come in, we'll start with Queen Charlotte. So go ahead, let everybody know what you've got up and coming.
So as we didn't do our live show last week with obviously the news of Queen Elizabeth passing, we are back this Thursday, and we are also covering all this Jodie centenary stuff. So if you want to hear our opinions and laughs and probably a few snide comments from a few of us, because let's just say the title hasn't gone down well. That's all I'll say. So tomorrow night, catch us on Type 40 Live, and then you'll catch me here on Wednesdays. And then Daniel he might be going on a little bit of a break. So just keep a watch out for his channel for when he wants to come back and do some videos.
Yeah, he's just, at the moment, he's just got stuff going on with his family and stuff he's explained. And, he needs a bit of a break as well, because stuff going on behind the scenes as well. Nothing that involves him, but it's still affecting everybody that's part of the community. So he needs a break, and it's well earned anyway. So when he's ready to come back, obviously he know everybody be here waiting for him anyway. But I always will say this though. If ever gets too tough for you, or you's a feeling that everything is getting a bit too much, it's always good to take a break from social media. And don't be afraid to do so, especially if you run a YouTube channel. Don't worry, nobody will go away. They'll be there waiting for you. Yeah, they'll be there waiting for you when you come back. I mean, Gobby took a holiday, and look, he's back now, and everybody's back in. And another new channel. I know Gobby is doing very well. And as I said, he has that big interview coming up. So huge congratulations to him. Because as I said, I know it'll never happen on this channel because we've got the bad rep. Gobby doesn't obviously have a bad rep, so he's able to do this. So I do be delighted when it happens, people that I know. And if anybody deserves it, it is Gobby. So huge congratulations. Hope it goes well. I'll be in the chat if it's live. I don't know if it's live because I haven't watched his video because I guessed it last night, believe it or not, before everybody else. I went into the DMs and says, is a Sophia Miles? And he goes, shh, don't say that. And I says, I won't. I won't ruin it. But I kind of knew. Do you know how I knew? He put up a poster, and on the right-hand side of the poster, you'll see a silhouette of a woman, right? And that's how I guessed it. So his channel's is in the chat there, along with the channels that Charlotte features on as well. So we'll go with Real Super Doctor next.
Right. I've got a Twitter account under Real Super Doctor, and I've got a YouTube account under Real Super Doctor.
Fantastic. I love that. Real Super Doctor's just to the point.
Yeah.
Bang, done.
That's
anyway, PD Rich, because you've got loads up and coming, don't you? So you let everybody know your news, because you've got a bit of news as well, actually.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Anyone who knows me on Facebook, we're doing a production of Blackadder at the moment, and I am exhausted. I'm doing all the sound work on it this time. I'm doing the sound operations, and I'm doing the sound design. So
Nice
I
one.
am absolutely exhausted. You know me on Facebook, and you know roughly where I live. You can find the poster on my Facebook page.
There you go. Any channel shout outs you normally do?
Rabbi. I'll be back with Rabbi when I'm done with the play for a week, and then probably shooting off to do something else.
No problem.
Drawing Jack Rabbit, and Enigmatic Joker's streaming again. So.
Nice one.
Yeah, he's come back. So if you want to check that out, it was last night he did it. So check his channel out. It should be up now to view.
Brilliant. Good to see some old faces back. That's it. Take your break if you need a break, and come back when you're ready to come back. Everybody will be there. So yeah, and again, you know where to find me here. And as I said, we'll be doing that member stream. I'll be doing my top 10 childhood movies this week, and it will be done this week because I've been promising it now for the last couple of weeks. But because of everything everything seems to happen all at once. Something will happen, and I just didn't feel comfortable myself streaming, even though I'm not a royalist or anything like that, and I'm not a fan, of the royal family and as such. At the end of the day, there's a little thing called respect, and most of my guests that I bring on, the people that follow us, are from the UK. We do have a lot of Americans, Canadians, and stuff like that, but the majority of my audience probably would be from the UK. So out of respect, we haven't really streamed that much, and a lot of channels in the Doctor Who community actually did that, and that was nice to see. As I said, we might all have different opinions on the royal family, but there's a thing called respect. And I've been as respectful as I as I can be, to be quite honest with you. I don't forget what happened between our two countries, but at the end of the day, it's not her fault. So I'll just be blunt about it. And if you want to live in the past, go ahead, live in the past. Bury your head in the sand. I'm looking forward to the future where the whole world can come together in peace, and there is no discrimination.
So funny, Noel, isn't it?
Hunger.
Some people burn the past. Others just want to live in the past. We live in a funny old time, don't we?
Are you watching? Do you know what I was actually thinking, Chris? Because you bring up an interesting point. Because I was thinking on how to move the NuWhoZone forward, and I was actually thinking, should I actually do that? Do my top 10 list on the member stream, right? And then do the movies then each week, the 10 movies that I've chosen. But the problem is that some that are in my top 10 list we've already done before. And I don't want to be repeating. I don't want to repeat. So maybe for another top 10, because I'm going to do my top 10 horror movies as well. So it'll be top 10 childhood movies that my top 10. And then obviously horror movies. I'll be going through each genre, right? Because I'm eclectic when it comes to movies. I'll watch anything, even movies with subtitles. So if they're good, they're good. I watched an Italian one. I didn't even know. I went into it blind, and within 15 minutes I had to knock the thing off. It was the most. Let's just say I've never seen a movie with a director and a cast that can get away with the stuff that they got away with in the first 15 minutes of that movie. It was about torture and other stuff. It was an Italian movie. And let's just say, I'm not even going to go into any more detail, but even that alone was sick. And I had to knock it off. So I got into a bit of a rabbit hole last night. I watched Frost Nixon, with Michael Sheen, which I've watched. I watch every so often because I think Michael Sheen's one of his best performances. But I got down the Richard Nixon rabbit hole last night, and I started watching all the old interviews and all these press conferences and all that. Oh, man, don't ask me why. I just got so fascinated by it all that to watch. But that's what I was doing. But we already did a show last night in honor of the Queen. We focused on how the royal family influenced Doctor Who, from Silver Nemesis to Liz, 10. We didn't focus on the negative, just the influence on how the passing affected us. Yeah, and and that's the way it should be. It's just a pity that other people out there that don't have the same way of looking at it, the way you've looked at it, the way I've looked at it. I never, in fairness, 10 years ago, if this had happened 10 years ago, would I be out saying the stuff that I'm saying? Probably not. Probably not. I have to be honest, which is probably
Time
not.
heals all wounds.
But a lot's changed in 10 years. Lots changed in 10 years. She came over to this country and she made a real effort, as I said. And that did, for a lot of Irish people, that was the moment where people had a bit of respect for Queen Elizabeth over here. What she did was amazing. Can't knock her for it. And the fact that she actually went out of her way, even if it was a sentence of Irish, the fact that she thanked our president in Irish, even the president was stunned so much that you can actually hear her over the mic going, "Oh, wow." Because it was just, that was an iconic moment. But that was a moment for a lot of Irish people that were watching, that they put all the old feelings behind them. It's just a pity that some people in the Doctor Who fandom, this is why I'm highlighting it, because it's happening in the Doctor Who fandom. And it's absolutely disgusting. Now, a journalist that I follow and that follows me actually has seen the post that I've been thrown up. And the person that I've been focused on in the post, Mr. You Know Who, has that journalist blocked. He has that journalist blocked. So I've said to that journalist, I've basically said to that journalist, say, here, listen, go on to Twitter and type in Christopher Eccleston's name. And go down, and I said, you will scroll down in horror of the posts that you will see from Doctor Who fans and Christopher Eccleston fans. Absolutely disgusting. And it's all the younger generation and all of these little left-wing, the ones that go around calling people racist and supremacists and claim to support Black Lives Matter. As I said, they're all hypocrites.
Yeah, always have been.
But let's hope people see these people for who they are.
I was going to say, I think that could be the silver lining in all of this.
Yeah.
That I think it has flushed out quite a lot of characters, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, BBC are very pro-royal anyway. So, I mean...
Oh, yes.
I find it a bit strange, though, that he's getting away with this, when he does a lot of Doctor Who stuff, and he even has some of their merchandise and his own merchandise. So, I mean, he has an adipose. If you go into his store, he has an adipose. I don't even think he's supposed to be using that. That's a BBC thing. I don't know how we can get away with that. I think you're supposed to design your own things if you want to have Doctor Who, but not design that, and that's in conflict with what the BBC own and stuff like that. I don't know how he gets away with the stuff that he gets away with, but for people out there saying that he should be, that this, that, and the other should happen, and he should be removed and all that, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's protected like them all. I mean, we literally have a bloke out there that's trying to discredit the hashtag justice for Noel Clarke, and he's went around repeatedly calling people defenders of a SP. I can't say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. And his tweets have been reported, and yet he's still up. He hasn't been. Nothing has happened. So they're protected. They're protected, and this is the thing that's not fair in this whole culture war fight. There's one rule for one side, another rule for another side. If I said the things, here's the thing. I know for a fact, if I said the things that he is saying right now about the Queen, and if I was to throw them up on my Twitter account, he would be the first gobshite, along with the rest of them, that would be piling on me. How dare you be disrespectful, being a hypocrite, because I said it, or someone else that they don't like say it, but it's all right for them to say it. But look, I addressed the fandom in a stream that I've done. If you haven't checked it out, listen to it, because I basically got a lot of things off my chest. And it wasn't a rant. It wasn't It wasn't an angry stream. It was just me talking about the behavior, and I think it's absolutely disgusting, and it needs to stop. This fandom is gone, by the way. As I said, this fandom lives on
Polarized.
in people's YouTube channels now, like the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS here, Gobby Guy, Daniel's channel, my channel, Dan's channel, Jumping Jackrabbit, all those little channels, all of us there, right? That's where the community survives now. It doesn't, the fandom is dead. The fandom is gone. You see it there. It's never, as long as those people are in the fandom, right, we will never have this fandom back, because if that's the behavior of them and they're able to get away with it and we can't, right? So this is the thing that's ironic about it, and quite hypocritical. So he can go around and slag the Queen off with impunity, but I say anything about Jodie Whittaker's acting and I'm fucking piled on, sent death threats, and I'm bleeding. People are trying to report me accounts and take down my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
See how, do you know what I mean? The hypocrisy in this fandom is unbelievable. So don't forget about the fandom is dead.
That's the reason they're doing it, though. No, they know they can get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. But if I was to do exactly what they were to do, it'd be a different story. But as I said, these are the very same people that go and attack people for having opinions on Jodie Whittaker, and yet there they are slagging the 96-year-old woman who passed away with impunity, making sick jokes, and it's okay for them to do it. No, it's not on my watch, and I'll call you out, and I don't care. And you could say, well, what's an Irish man doing defending? I'm not defending the Queen. I'm defending the fact that you are I'm giving out that you are a bunch of disrespectful, ungrateful, spoiled little brats. That's exactly what you are, right? You have never went through hardship. This is the first time you have gone through hardship in your lives now, and look how bad you are, right? I've been through this. I'm 40 odd years of age. I've been through three recessions, 3 or 4 recessions now, right? And I never acted like yous did. Never acted like self fucking gratifying little. I don't know what yous are anymore. Yous just sicken me. Society,
inhuman, I think the saying is. Inhuman.
Society sickens me now. They just want to dehumanize everything. Everyone.
Beings.
And a 96-year-old passes away. And did Eccleston really diss the Queen? Yes, he did. And this is why I said on me stream why I have a problem with actors and actresses coming out with political stuff. They are not paid to give us their opinions on political stuff that's going on, or to give us social commentary. Their job and what they're paid to do is to read lines off a sheet of fucking paper and get out there and act it. That's their job. I've never had, when people were calling for Gina Carano to be reinstated, no, she was right to be sacked, right? But so should Pedro Pascal have been sacked, because he started talking about politics. None of these gobshites should be talking politics, right? None of them. Because you see it now, you got Linda Carter, old Wonder Woman, coming out and saying, everybody's racist about the Little Mermaid. You just want to leave it out. It's a mermaid. Right? I'm seeing a lot of these comments, right, that, well, if you, the one about the Lord of the Rings is funny. Well, if you believe in hobbits and all of this, then you have a problem with black people, then you're the problem. No! You are bending and twisting the argument once again. Just like the media. It's nothing to do with racism, you bleed morons. It's got to do with the fact that she's aren't actually being fucking faithful to the original works. That's why. And you all talk about representation in this fandom. Well, The Little Mermaid is a Danish story, Danish fairy tale. So if you are all for, like, say, like you have said, black people should play black characters, gay people should play gay characters, lesbian characters should play lesbian characters. Right, fair enough. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So a Danish woman should play the Little Mermaid.
Exactly.
Right? That's why people are giving out, because you are hypocrites. It's nothing to do with racism. And then on top of that as well, right, what further compounds all of this bullshit is the fact that you can't even write a decent story. The source material's there from the original movie, but yet you will do something completely different with it, right? But it won't be as good, because the people that you have writing it are just driven by agenda. Right, we got a black mermaid now, so right, what references can we put in? Right? That's the problem. Right? It's nothing to do with racism. right? And here's the thing as well, and I've called Hollywood out on this, and I've called everybody out on this, right? I am sick and tired of all of this nonsense. You are being disrespectful to the communities that you say you are fucking trying to help, right? If you want to help the black actors and actresses to succeed in Hollywood, well then create original content. And also, you mean to tell me that there's no black comic books out there or black stories that you can tell?
Well, no,
you're telling me there's none.
No, the funny thing is, when it comes to the Little Mermaid situation, Disney have got an animated story called The Princess and the Frog, which is set in New Orleans.
Yep.
So you wanted to have a live action story that has actors that are not white. You have literally got a film that you have made that you could make live action.
And there's that new jazz, what's it, Soul as well?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like they've got an animated movie. If they wanted to do that, Disney, don't touch Little Mermaid. Do your actual one set in New Orleans that's got jazz music
exactly.
and it's brilliant.
Exactly, that's the point. Stuff. They just don't do that though, because they've got tunnel vision. That's what it is. It's tunnel vision. They can't see. They don't even. And here's the thing that annoys me even more. And the media again has shown their true light. Again, they'd settled down a little bit over the years. They weren't coming out with too many fans are racist articles. But now they're in full blown again. They're full blown again. Oh, fans are racist for giving out about Lord of the Rings. Oh, fans are racist for giving out about The Little Mermaid. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not racism. And I will defend that. And if any journalist wants to interview me, come and interview me. I'll tell you why it's not racist. I've already explained on this channel why it's not racist. You mean to tell me that no black writers out there exist and never written stories and never made movies or anything like that you can actually remake today or do today? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's not the truth, right? The truth of the matter is, and the fact of the matter is you're lazy. Right? Rather than make original content, I'll put the hard work in and effort in to create some stories that are already out there. You would rather just say, all right, let's get The Little Mermaid. We'll go with Snow White next now. Right? Snow White will be next, and then you'll probably have, well, they did a live action version of Aladdin. But if they made it today, well, they did make it today. But if you were to make it in 5 years' time, it'd be a completely different movie than the one they just made recently as well.
Bloody Genie
this is what I'm talking about. Now they're remaking The Never-Ending Story. Disney.
No, don't.
Yes, they are. I saw the poster for it. Disney Plus is coming out with The Never-Ending Story, right? And you know what's going to happen with that movie, right? So here's my suggestion, and I've said it all along. It's time that we look. Think about it is arguing about these things all the time, right? Gives Amazon Prime and all of these other studios, whether it's negative press, you're still giving them some press. I think we need to go at this a different way now. We need to stop ignoring all of this rubbish that's being made and just get people and encourage people to buy physical copies of the original works. So if you're a fan, anyway, I'm not a fan of the Little Mermaid animation. I didn't like that movie anyway. So the live action one to me, is going to suck anyway. I would rather have they did do a Sleeping Beauty kind of live actions called Magnificent.
That was the start of all these terrible live action movies.
Yeah, but I liked that movie. I did like that movie. I thought that was a great movie. Angelina Jolie suited that role so well. I thought it was actually a great movie. But and they did the same with The Wizard of Oz when they brought back The Wizard of Oz with James Franco. That was a good movie, though. They were good live action Disney movies, but because there was no agenda. Even look at those movies. There was no agenda with those movies. You just made a faithful live action version of the animated version, and that's why they worked. But now they've just decided, well, we'll remake now, but like now we're just gonna be quiet.
You better not be talking about The Little Mermaid.
Who cares what you think about The Little Mermaid? The Little Mermaid is a Danish folklore story.
You know what? If it's not being played by a real mermaid, it's a problem.
It is. We need real mermaids.
Well, according to Hollywood, it is, right? Only mermaids should play mermaids.
Yeah.
Right?
They've got to be Dutch mermaids.
It's like, you know, Tom Hanks, Philadelphia, played the game, man, right?
Tim Hanks.
I mean, he wouldn't be able to do that nowadays because, like, apparently now you can't do that. But yeah, they're being hypocrites. This is what I don't like. If they were like this with everything else, then we would have nothing to complain about. Yeah, except the fact that everything that they're making is shite. But the fact is, they're hypocrites. It seems to be one rule for one and another rule for another. I mean, make up your mind.
Not for me.
You either want these different communities to play people within those communities, or you don't. Right? And the reason why, and I just want to point out as well, like, you all have no problem with the race swapping nonsense, right? Because it is nonsense. I mean, you're just expecting people that have grew up with these stories to accept this. And they're not going to. And again, it's not racist. What P fans are trying to tell you is, if you want to create these stories for all these different communities, well, then you go and you look for stories that are already out there and available, right? Or you create new content.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Stop being lazy, right? And stop giving hand-me-downs, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're being disrespectful, right? You're giving them hand-me-downs. That's all you're doing, right? And you're already setting them off as on a disadvantage, because you know there's going to be a backlash because people respect and love the original work. And that's why people are mad. So Linda Carter and all you Muppets that were in the Lord of the Rings, right, as well, that are coming out with all of this racist nonsense, keep your mouth shut. You don't know what you are talking about. You live in your own little bubble anyway. And the only reason why half of you are coming out and saying it's racist is because you are not working, right? You don't have a career, right? Some of you are at the latter stages of your career. Some of you just don't get work anymore, right? And that's the only reason why you are speaking up, because you are hoping that, you know, Mr. Bezos will get you in for the Lord of the Rings. He's never going to get you in, right? But well done for doing his job for him and calling fans racist, right? Don't fucking dare. Don't dare sully the bleeding Lord of the Rings trilogies. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. You don't know what you are talking about. You need to stop it. And Linda Carter, I'm disappointed in you as well, because in fairness, if anybody could see through this bullshit, I thought it'd be her. Man, come on, cop on to yourself. All of these actors and actresses, you need to cop on to yourselves and shut up. You are paid to act. You are paid to read a script in front of a camera. And if you aren't doing that, keep your mouth shut about other stuff, because you don't know what's going on in society, because you do live in your own little bubble world, right? You probably don't even know how much a pint or a gallon of milk costs. So shut up. All right, you don't have to worry about putting food on people on your table or acting like that, or real life struggles. So when you all start talking about the economy as well, kind of pisses people off. Just shut your mouth. You know nothing. Okay, simple as that. And now I'm going to stop me rant now, because I don't want to get into a rant, but I am sick and tired of all of this nonsense. Sick and tired of society as a whole. But you know what? I've got good friends around me like you guys, and you know, as long as I got yous around me and we've got our own little group, it doesn't matter what goes on around us. You know, we make our own life and we make it as enjoyable as we can. And fuck all the other white noise, as I call it. But this is it's getting ridiculous. This was supposed to bleed and calm down. It's getting worse again. It's worse than it was a few years back. They're just not relenting. And flop after flop keeps happening. And they still keep making them. I mean, Brie Larson, last thing I will say. I mean, Brie Larson, right, just couldn't help herself. She puts up a photograph of herself and three black ladies, right? And she goes, trolls combust. So her very first post on basically announcing that she's going to be doing Captain Marvel 2 is to diss the whole fandom. And then she then starts crying that she's being picked on. Well, the first thing you did was you antagonized everybody in the fandom deliberately with your post. So, like, you know, you reap what you sow. I'm sick of these people, and I'm not feeling sorry for them anymore. And she said that she didn't know whether she would get Captain Marvel whether people wanted her to play Captain Marvel. I can tell you now, people don't want you to play Captain Marvel. They never have, never will accept you as Captain Marvel, even though you will get a few more movies. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. You come across as arrogant. You just couldn't come out and say something nice. You had to rile all the people up that didn't like you, and now you want to cry about it. And that's exactly what you wanted. You wanted all the newspaper articles then to come out and say, "Oh, look, Brie Larson's being picked on again," but nothing mentioning the fact that you started the first with your little pathetic little post because you can't help yourself. All you feminists, radical feminists, sorry, can't help you ourselves.
Fourth wave, yeah.
Right? You just can't help you ourselves. Right? And by the way, the 3 actresses that were in the photograph with you, right? Every single one of them, I'd rather watch them in anything than rather watch you in Captain Marvel. Okay? You're not a good actress anyway. I don't even think she's a good actress anyway. Again, like Jodie Whittaker. She's the Jodie Whittaker of Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She's not a good actress. Never has been, never will be. But she got a career anyway because she was a singer when she was a kid. So it's who you know and all of that. That's how she got her career. She didn't get it by working hard. And I can tell you that. She didn't. She didn't get it by working hard. It was handed to her. True, because her family was famous. Her parents were famous or something. And then she became a singer as a kid. Then she kind of gave that up then. And then she obviously moved into the movies. She probably did other stuff before that, but who gives a shit? I mean, the woman is just, and then they wonder why we give out. So yeah, well done on making Captain Marvel 2 flop before it even comes out, because that's exactly what you've done. You flopped your own movie now. And I hope the people that are making these decisions are looking at this and seeing how poorly your movie actually does, and they decide to cut all ties with you. Because I think she needs to go and be replaced by someone who's actually humble. And if you bring someone in that's humble, I think you can. Well, I think everybody is saying they think it's finished now anyway, the MCU. They call it the MCU now, but there's still a possibility of saying, I think it's ran out of steam anyway, personally. But you get someone else in to play Captain Marvel that actually has a personality and actually is nice towards fans. Well, there might be some way of resurrecting this, but with She-Hulk, the way that's gone. And by the way, I'm not going to sit here, right, and slate it for the fact that I've watched it, right? So I'm not sitting here slating it because, I've heard everybody else slating it, right? I've actually watched the shit, right? I thought the first episode was decent, even though there was a couple of scenes in it that did raise a few eyebrows. But let's just say those eyebrows have gotten raised so much now that if I raise them any further, my eyes are going to fall out. Right? It's that bad. It's that bad. The MCU right now is screwed. You cannot afford to have Brie Larson be coming out with the shit that she's coming out with. So, the bosses at Marvel Studios, you need to get you a fucking act together, right? And start reining these actors and actresses in, right? Because if you want this to continue, that's what you have to do. Because we're sick and tired of listening to them attack fans, have a go at fans, and say that fans are racist and all this other rubbish that you come out with. That has to stop. But they won't. They'll continue this for another few years anyway. Tegan is not impressed with Yaz. Wonder why. Yeah, well, I will throw those photographs up and show them. I think that video is actually ready to go. Hold on, because that's why I've been talking, see if I can get it loaded. Yeah, so I just have to add the music to it, which I'll do on YouTube. I normally put my own music in, but I'm monetizing this bad boy. I don't normally, but I am. Why not?
No, it's promotion stuff for the special, so I think you should.
Exactly. So yeah, so it's ready to go. I just have to add the music. So I'm gonna upload it here now. And then I'll do the rest then when we go off. But yeah, why have I got a message? I don't know what's going on there. I'll check that out now in a minute. Anyway, they could also do Okay, no, they couldn't do that movie. PD, you want?
No, not that
There's
one. Not that
no
one.
fucking way. Listen, I
That's
watched
why-
that. It's on that internet archive. The full movie is there.
Oh.
I've watched it.
And
I've watched
that's
it
why I said
because-
Princess
Interesting
and the
film.
Frog.
Yeah.
That is the.
Exactly, that one's better. But I will say this: this movie was shown in Ireland back in the day, so I actually did get to see this. I know it was banned in America and stuff, but we actually did get to see this movie because I remember watching it as a kid. Now I recently watched it again because I wanted to see how bad this movie actually was, right? And I will say this, right? Even though, like, you know, I'm one for saying, you know, this is not necessarily right. You've got to look at the context of what it was. But this was fucking goddamn racist. There's no way I look at it. The stereotypes, the whole. I did love the song though, and everybody know that's the thing. Everybody sings yippity doo da yippity, but nobody knows really where that song comes from. It comes from that bleeding movie, like. So when you're singing that song, you're singing it from the movie Song of the South. So, yeah, I recently watched it just to see how bad it was, and it's bad, really bad. Oh, by the way, I've also got I probably shouldn't really say this out loud, but I've actually got a leaked copy of the Sony movie Popeye that they were going to do, that they shelved the animation of Popeye. I've got the full movie. It was leaked, so I got it before it was taken down. So I have that full movie. I still haven't watched it yet. But that movie, they did Pixels instead or something. It was replaced by Pixels, and they went ahead and did Pixels instead, I think, was the rumor. So they cancelled this movie for some weird reason. So I have to watch it to see why. Now, some of the animation's not finished in places, but it'll be very interesting to see why they did actually cancel this movie. Now, if I'm correct in saying, I think Robin Williams would have been alive at the time. Now, I don't know if he was voicing Popeye,
well, he was in the live action movie. I don't
he
know
was
if
in the live
voicing
action
this
version. So if
one.
you were going to get anybody to play Popeye in an animated version, it would have been him. So it'll be interesting. I'm going to check that out, but I probably really shouldn't have said that. But there you go. Yeah, there is a leaked Popeye movie that has been gone around online. Also leaked, before I go, the Batgirl trailer. Now, right. I'm just... Right.
Here we go.
How do I put this? Okay. Right. Do you know the way everybody was giving out that a $90 million movie was trashed, was put in the trash can? Well, if you look at this trailer, you can understand why. There was one scene in it that I thought, yeah, okay, I'd watch it just for that. And it was Brendan Fraser's scene. He has a little scene in the trailer and he just looks amazing, right? But her as Batgirl, the way she's even talking, the narration, even the narration from whoever's narrating this movie, this trailer, it's god awful. No wonder this movie was put in the bin. If you watch that trailer for Batgirl, I'm telling you now, no wonder it got the low audience score that it got when you were showing this to audiences to see if it would test well.
Yeah.
It's god awful. It's god awful, man. So yeah, you can find that leaked trailer on YouTube. It's still, they haven't taken it down for some weird reason. But if you want to see that Batgirl trailer in its whole entirety, it's up on YouTube, and I tell you, it's a real eye opener. Go and watch it because you will not believe how bad this actually is. For once, I will say, all the people that were criticizing this, that hadn't seen the thing but had heard things, were absolutely spot on. They were absolutely spot on. It's terrible. It's terrible. Anyway, we will leave it there because, actually, do you know what I might do for a laugh? Maybe during the week, see that trailer, I might do a reaction to it. Might not.
Just have your head in your hands. Going,
Just be careful.
I have to be careful. Yeah, I might be able to do it on the. We'll see. But it's awful. It's bleeding awful. Anyway, we're going to leave it there tonight. So I want to thank you all in the chat for joining us. We really appreciate the support. And as I said, go and check out Gobby Guy's channel.
Yeah.
He's going to be interviewing Sophia Miles. Also, as I said, I will have John the White on here on Saturday for an Old Clark update. I do know he's on Comics channel first, so look out for the post there. And as I said, Saturday at 8 o'clock. It's a late one. 8 o'clock, that's the time he wanted. So 8 o'clock to 9:30. He needs an hour and a half apparently, so we'll facilitate that. But he'll be my guest on Saturday night for that, because he does have a little bit of an update on the Noel Clark stuff. So look out for that. So there's plenty to come for his. Plenty of stuff going on Dan's channel and other channels out there. Check them all out, folks, because we're all friends. You know, we're all part of a little tight-knit community of our own, a group of YouTubers. We look out for each other. So check all those channels out that I mentioned earlier, and we will see you soon. So I'll say good night, folks, and enjoy your evening, and we will see you soon. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Bye.